the Gambozos, if you will, and Don Jr., he's so embarrassing. He's on the stand, he's testifying in this $250 million fraud trial, and you hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family, a very dumb crime family. I move my arms like a Muppet all the time. And with all the complaining the Trumps do about this trial playing out in the media, you could barely even turn the channel without seeing their lawyer doing an interview with somebody. He's saying that his father, the father of the hotel GM, is a guy who's never stepped inside one.
Trump Jr. just got roasted harder than a turkey at Thanksgiving, and the chef was none other than Jimmy Kimmel. The late-night host served up a burn so hot, it set Twitter on fire. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. But here's the kicker. Daddy Trump couldn't stand to see Jr. get picked on. He jumped into the fray, guns blazing, only to get verbally pantsed by Kimmel. It's a father-son roast you don't want to miss. Alright folks, buckle up because Donnie Jr. just made a big oopsie on Twitter. You know how sometimes you think you're being clever online, but it turns out you're just embarrassing yourself. Well, that's exactly what happened to our favorite Trump spawn. So, Jr. decides to flex his political muscles by tweeting about Ukrainian President Zelensky. He posts this gem, POV, you're 38 days from losing your allowance.
You hear the protesters chanting, crime family, and that is basically what these people are, a crime family, a very dumb crime family. And he has to compliment, he said his father is an artist with real estate. Yeah, he's an artist. He's Vincent Van Gogh to jail with real estate. Part of the group, he posted this picture of him and Tuck cackling in their blue checker print shirts.
Oh, Donnie, did you really think that was a good idea? It's like he forgot that Ukraine is in the middle of a serious conflict, and he's treating international aid like it's his dad's credit card. The internet, being the savage beast that it is, didn't take kindly to Jr.'s little joke. People were facepalming so hard you could hear the collective slap echoing across the Twitterverse. Even some MAGA hat wearers were like, dude, read the room. Before you could say gaffe, Jr.'s tweet was spreading faster than a juicy piece of gossip at a high school reunion. Everyone and their grandma was talking about it. It was like a virtual snowball fight, but instead of snow, people were throwing sick burns and savage comebacks. You could almost hear the late-night comedy writers salivating as they furiously scribbled jokes. And boy, did Jimmy Kimmel deliver. He came out swinging, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, Jr. should leave the tweeting to the professionals. Kimmel quipped, maybe, just maybe, Jr. should avoid using words like allowance when trying to sound all grown up and political. Ouch, that's gotta sting more than a spray tan mishap. It's like Jr. forgot that he's supposed to be a big shot businessman, not a teenager complaining about his pocket money. But hey, at least he's consistent in his ability to put his foot in his mouth. It's almost impressive, really. As the internet continued to roast Jr. like a marshmallow over a campfire, you just knew this story was far from over. The anticipation was building. What would Papa Trump do? Would he come to his son's defense? Or would he pretend he doesn't know anyone named Donald Trump Jr.? Well folks, Papa Trump just couldn't resist joining the party. It's like watching a reality TV show where the plot twists keep getting more ridiculous. How did Trump Sr. manage to make his son's Twitter fail look tame in comparison? Let's dive into this comedy goldmine. The former president, in all his orange glory, decided to defend his son by going after Jimmy Kimmel because nothing says, I'm a mature adult, like calling someone a total loser on social media.
The Gambozos, if you will, and Don Jr., he's so embarrassing. He's on the stand, he's testifying in this $250 million fraud trial.
I'm not supposed to rely on a big five accounting firm, like one of the biggest accounting firms in the world. I can pay them millions of dollars, right? Do you understand? Like, am I supposed to know more? Oh, Don Jr. doesn't know anything about it. I'm not an accountant. I'm a business guy.
Trump Sr. accused Kimmel of being desperate for ratings, which is pretty rich coming from a guy who can't stop tweeting about TV ratings himself. But wait, there's more. Trump Sr. didn't just stop at name-calling. He went full armchair psychologist, suggesting that Kimmel's jokes were just a reflection of his own insecurities. It's like the pot calling the kettle orange, isn't it? Trump Sr.'s tweets were flying faster than toupees in a hurricane, and political analysts were left scratching their heads. Was this a defense of Jr. or an audition for a comedy special? Kimmel, being the quick-witted comedian he is, saw this goldmine and started digging. He fired back with a zinger that would make even the most stoic Secret Service agent crack a smile. Comparing the Trump family to a dysfunctional sitcom, Kimmel quipped, "It's like Arrested Development, but with more spray tan and fewer morals." Ouch, that's gotta sting worse than a bad spray tan job. But Kimmel wasn't done yet. He suggested that maybe, just maybe, the former leader of the free world had better things to do than tweet about NFL rules. In Kimmel's words, "I think this is a great waste of his time." Which is pretty funny considering Trump's entire presidency could be summarized as great waste of time.
I move my arms like a Muppet all the time. And with all the complaining the Trumps do about this trial playing out in the media, you could barely even turn the channel without seeing their lawyer doing an interview with somebody. I'm a business guy who had his elbows soldered together, and now
I rely on them to do accounting, but I'm supposed to know more than them. By this logic, insurance companies are going to start suing patients for listening to their doctors.
The late-night host then painted a vivid picture of Trump's Twitter tirade, comparing it to a toddler playing whack-a-mole. It's an image that's hard to shake. Tiny hands furiously tapping away at a smartphone, desperately trying to hit every perceived slight. It's almost cute in a, "oh no, Grandpa's off his meds again" kind of way. As the Twitter feud escalated, Kimmel's audience was eating it up like it was the last slice of pizza at a political rally. The comedian turned Trump's tweet storm into a Category 5 comedy hurricane, leaving the Trumps all wet and the audience in stitches. Well folks, it looks like late-night comedy isn't just for laughs anymore. A study showed that 62% of viewers think these shows actually help them wrap their heads around political shenanigans. Who knew? Turns out while we're chuckling at Kimmel's Trump roasts, we're also getting a crash course in current events.
he's saying that his father, the father of the hotel gym, is a guy who's never stepped inside one. Boasted that his dad is the father of hotel gyms. He said, maybe someone put a gym in a building somewhere, but no one did it at the scale of my father. Don and Don Jr. had some father and son event this weekend. They went to the UFC fight at Madison Square Garden.
Speaking of crash courses, this whole Twitter tussle between Kimmel and the Trumps is like a masterclass in comedy warfare. Kimmel's got more zingers than a popcorn machine, while the Trumps are flailing like fish out of water. It's like watching a professional comedian go up against that one uncle who thinks he's hilarious at Thanksgiving dinner. So next time you're scrolling through your feed and see a political figure tweeting something questionable, just remember, somewhere out there, a late night host is cracking their knuckles, ready to turn that tweet into comedy gold. And who knows, you might just learn something while you're laughing.